Hi, welcome to my Panda television show. My name is MariBeth Blum-Tuton. I'm a professional reverse painter on glass. Our last show, our first show, we demonstrated getting to this point, and we're now at the third layer of paint. So we're going to put the third, this is what it looks like after the second layer of paint. Now we're going to put the third layer of paint on. And I'm going to mix Atelier binder medium, which is like a super glue for paint. And I'm going to mix it in with, I can use any random color now. The second layer of paint affects the first layer of paint. So now we can use any random color paint to cover it, to make it really thick and non-transparent. So I think I'm going to just choose white and start with a big brush. Cover most of this. Make sure I get this, I want to get the sides really thick, the edges, so that no air can get into the painting. We want to protect it from air and moisture. So I'll go really fast, because this is goes very quickly. I'll mix in a little color. And sometimes it looks like a really great abstract painting, but you're not realizing you're doing it. So I'll go nice and quickly with some colors. And every once in a while you'll see little specks of glass. And that goes to the very beginning, so you want to make it really thick where you see little bits of glass in there. So I see little bits of glass. I want to make it nice and thick right there, because that'll go right to the front. So I'll go nice and quick. Choose some blues and greens, and whites and yellows. Well, we got some really great constructive criticism from our first show, so we can learn what not to do and what to do for the next show. So that was really good. I appreciate all of you who gave me constructive criticism. The viewers especially liked the boys telling jokes and having fun, which makes me happy. So we're almost done here. Let's see, try some blue. Oops. And then as soon as this is finished, I'm going to turn it around and make sure there's no openings from the beginning to the back. Okay. Nice and thick on the edges, especially. Okay, I'll put that in there. Okay, now I'm going to look at it through the sunlight, through the light. Oh, I see a spot right there that I missed. So take my brush. Right here, there's you can see the glass right here. So I'm going to take a nice thick glob and cover that. I think I saw one more piece of glass. Yeah, it's not thick on the bottom here. Okay. Perfect. Good. Okay. There we go. See how vibrant it looks now with the third layer of paint on it? It's really nice. We got my name signed here and the date. Looks very nice. Now we have to dry it in the sun. And then once we dry it, then I'll come back and I'll show you how to back the painting. Okay. I'm back. The painting is dry now. It baked in the sun until it's dry to the touch. The sun's very strong today. It's almost 90 degrees out, so it dried very quickly. So now I'm going to take the painting and lie it flat on the table. I'm going to close up my easel. The first thing I'm going to do is cut a piece of material exactly the same size as the piece of glass. So I measure it. I just measure it by, I've done this hundreds of times, so I'm pretty good at doing this now. So I lay it in here, and I collect beautiful materials just because I like to be surrounded by beauty. It's nice to surround yourself by beauty, and then your day goes really nice. And then, see, that covers the glass. And then I'll cut along. Let's see. Be very careful with razor blades. Okay. And you lay the material onto the glass like this. Take all the strings, put them in. You don't want them sticking out. Nice, smooth it out. Nice and clean. Then you take a foam core. And you want the foam core to be flush with the, so we might need 2 sheets of foam core. And then you want this exactly the same size as the, so I'll take my T-square, perfectly, it has a perfect 45-degree angle, so when you go, you pull it down just a little bit. You want to measure it. I'm stuck in here. Let me get out of this. So you want to measure it right to the edge, so it's perfectly square, and the razor blade has to be perfectly sharp. You can't use a dull razor blade or it'll chop up the, then go nicely along the, along the ruler like this. Okay, comes right off. So it's perfect flush, and then we'll go to the other side, pull it away a couple inches so you can measure, get exactly where it is, line it up. Oops, excuse me. Push really hard, push really hard against the ruler like this. And if it doesn't cut all the way through, flip it. I'm glad this happened because I want to show you. You flip it, take the razor blade, go along the crease like this, and then it comes off. Okay, since the foam core doesn't go flush with the top of the frame, we're going to use another piece. And see how it goes flush with the frame? That's what we want. Okay, so we're going to cut it again. I'm going to change razor blades again because that one's dull already. I'll get a brand new razor blade. Get this off. Take my T-square, pull it back a little, oh, I'm stuck again. Pull it back a couple inches so we can measure the size of it. I learned how to do this all on my own. I practiced, you know, when I first started doing these paintings, I didn't back them at all. And I just put brown paper over the back. And my sister-in-law, Ann Hateman Blum, she said maybe you should put foam core in the back just to protect the glass. So then I started putting foam core in the back of the glass. And then I discovered that all these bubbles started happening on the back because when foam core heats up or it gets really cold, it moves and the paint sticks to the foam core and it pulls away the paint. So I said, oh, that's no good. So I had to repair some paintings. And then I decided, okay, I'll put some canvas or material down in between the paint and the foam core. And now I've never had a problem since then. So I figured it out over making a lot of mistakes. Okay. Yep, it's trial and error. Oops. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. And I'll set this over here. Go back and cut this again. go. And pull it away from the, let's see. No, I don't have to pull it away this time. I'll measure this one more time. Get a little closer to the edge. And be very careful with razor blades. Luckily, I've never gotten deep cuts or anything. I'm very careful with the razor blades. And if you don't feel comfortable holding the razor blade, there are razor blade holders that you can buy for $1.49 at the hardware store. So push it in. So it's flush, it's perfectly flush with the edge. Okay. Next, we take duct tape. I always use white duct tape so that it doesn't, the gray or the black duct tape doesn't show through to the back of the material, the foam material that you use. And then this seals it so that no moisture gets, so again, no moisture gets into the painting. Then I take my razor blade, make a nice clean cut there. Do it again on all four sides. Take your razor blade, do it again. Smooth it out with your hand. Cut it. Smooth it out with your hand. See, it's nice. Nice and smooth. Okay. Next, you take another piece of material. And I choose pretty materials, even though you don't see the material on the back. I like both the front and the back of my paintings to be beautiful as much as possible. Get rid of that string. Now you want to cut this material 2 inches wider than the frame. So you want 2 inches on on 4 sides, because we're going to tuck it in. Okay, my scissors don't work so good. So about 2 inches. I'm going to feel the edge and go around 2 inches. Give it a quick cut there. Okay. Set that aside. And then, let's see, make sure there's 2 inches. A couple inches or so. And go a couple inches. Make a little slit. This is a lot quicker than using scissors. Okay, set your razor blade aside so you don't cut yourself. Okay. Now I'm going to take my staple gun. Get some staples ready because you'll run out. We use a lot of staples. Smooth it out. Now when I was in college in my painting class, when we learned how to stretch canvases, we were taught to staple the center, and then stretch the canvas, and then staple to the left, the left, the left, and the left, and the left. So I do the same thing with backing I use the same process. So I had an amazing painting teacher in college. His name was Scott Brody, an Irishman. He was an amazing teacher. His teacher, he went to a museum school in Boston, and his teacher learned from another teacher who was another teacher who learned from one of the great Impressionists. I think it was Corot. So I learned from an incredible, he was an amazing teacher, painting teacher. That's why I can paint like that. He taught me everything I know. Okay. So then you fold the material back like this until it's flush to the edge. You may want to get a little closer right? Till it's flush to the edge. See how nice it's flush to the edge? The material is folded under like that. And then we take one staple and then staple it. We make sure it's pulled perfectly this way, fold it under, smooth it out, pull it a little bit, staple it, do the same as to this side. Don't worry about the edges yet. We'll deal with that later. Fold it under. Oops. You want it flush to the edge. Sometimes it doesn't do what you want it to do, but okay. And some materials are harder to work with than others. But I like to use heavy, thick materials, not thin. Thin material gets too wavy. So I prefer the heavier materials. Or you can use canvas to back it. You can just get a roll of canvas at the, if you don't have material, get a roll of canvas at your local art supply store. Okay, then we want to go from the center to the left. Okay, so you have to make a perfect corner here. Pull it in both directions. Smooth it out. You want it to be perfect. Do the edge, the center, and then the center of all those centers. Okay, that's one. Make a perfect corner here. Start at the edge, center, the center again, center, 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 center. Oh, I ran out of staples, see? Just push it down, pull it out. And then you take your stibbles, put them back into the, stick this back in here, push down and up, and then you got more staples. Very easy. Okay, and we'll do it again to the left. Pull it out a little bit so it goes flush with both sides. Pull it, make sure it's nice and smooth. Center, 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 center. Okay. Move it around. There we go. Make it flush. Move it a little bit more. Okay. Center. I hope you really do try reverse painting on glass, because it's so much fun. And even if you don't feel like you're a good painter, everything you touch on glass becomes vibrant and beautiful, just automatically. You can just paint, just paint some lines of red and blue and yellow, and it'll be so vibrant. You'll be amazed at how it looks. Even if you don't have an image to paint, just paint a circle colored with, paint the moon, the blue sky, and it'll be gorgeous. Okay, now we're going to do the right hand side. Okay, center. Now this is the easy part because the corners are already done. And let's see, center. And then the last side, tuck it in a little bit, it's not quite pushed. Okay, now we want to look at the front and find the top. At the end we'll clean up the frame, I got a little paint on it. Okay, we're going to choose the top. Now this is the top of the painting. Now we're going to get they're called these round things with little screws on them. Off the top of my head, I can't believe I forgot what these are called. Screw eyes, they're called. Now we want to go, take your fingers and go half, then go to the top and go half again. That's 3/4 of the way. That's where you want to put your screw eye. 3/4 of the way up from the bottom, or 1/4 of the way down from the top, whichever way you want to look at it. And then screw it into the sometimes the screws are some of the frames are oak frames or harder wood frames. You'll need to use a screw gun with a drill first and then put the screw eye in because it's very difficult to get in. You'll hurt your fingers. So let's turn it around. Go half again. This way you don't have to measure with a ruler. That takes up too much time. Okay, and I push it in. It's going in nice and easy. This is an easy frame to. Okay, screw it in till it doesn't screw in anymore. Nice and tight. And then remove this. Then we take picture wire. It's called picture wire. On smaller frames, there's thinner picture wire you can buy. You can get it at the hardware store or the art supply store. So measure. This I got at Lowe's, I think. Let's see. You measure about a few, maybe 4 inches on either side past the screw eyes. And then take your pliers or cutters or whatever it is. And then you cut it. Cut the wire like that. Set this aside. Then go through the hole like this. Take the other one and go through it like that. And pull tight like this. And then go under from the bottom to the top. Go under. Go really close and pull it around and around and around. Really close. See how close I'm getting it? This will ensure that and then towards the end, just put the other. And then pull it. Go under, towards the bottom. Pull it really close together. And when I was a teenager, I used to collect art, and I've been an art collector since I was a teenager. And I found this at a flea market or at my favorite thrift shop. I found this frame that was from Paris, and I studied the way they did the back, and this is exactly how they did it. And it was over 100 years old. This is how they did it years ago in Paris. So I'm stuck with that technique. They did it really tight towards the end of them. Okay. Now, this is great. And then I take these felt things. You also get at the hardware store. They even sell them at Hannaford supermarkets. You can get them anywhere. They're felt pads. Take the paper off of it. Pull it apart. And then you put it on the very bottom. That'll protect it from the wall, hitting against the wall. And voila, we're done. I just want to take my razor blade real quick. Scrape that paint off a little bit. Or my eyeglasses, yeah. Just very gently, because I don't want to scrape the gold off of it. If you want to keep the paint on there and it doesn't matter to you, you can do whatever you want. See, it scrapes the gold off. But I also have some, it's called Gold Rub and Buff. You can get that at the art supply store. It's a gold, like wax, and you can put it over the gold frame wherever it's missing the gold parts, and it makes it look brand new. It's called Rub and Buff. It's really great stuff. I used to have an art supply store. My sister and I, my sister Margaret Mary and I had an art supply store called the Creative Plunge Tivoli Art Supply for 6 years, and I had to close it when I had gotten MS, but I was very sick for a while, but I was cured and I don't have MS anymore. So now that I'm healthy, I'm going to reopen my store again. Hopefully this year, we'll see. So then take the razor blade. I don't have any Windex with me, but if you don't have Windex, you can take your razor blade, and this cleans the glass perfectly. See, look at the dust on there. The razor blade cleans it without using chemicals of Windex or ammonia or You don't need chemicals to clean your glass. You just need a razor blade. So now it's gotta be perfect. It's gonna look really nice. Look at the dirt on there. So we're gonna make it really nice. And then I'll take a paper towel. Let's take a clean paper towel. Oops, they're not clean. Okay. Shine it up. Or you can take a soft cloth and shine it up. Et voila. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I want to thank Panda for allowing me to do this show and sharing this with you all. And if you have any suggestions, or if you want to see me do an interior or landscape or in future shows, please call Panda. You can call Danielle Maloney. So thank you again for joining us, and God bless you and have a great day.